What would you do if you inherited a vast fortune at a young age? Would you live a life of luxury, or would you use your wealth to make a difference? Meet Angela Burdett-Coutts, a woman who chose the latter. Born in the early 19th century, Angela was no ordinary child. She was the granddaughter of the immensely wealthy Thomas Coutts, founder of the esteemed Coutts Bank. When her grandfather passed away, she was unexpectedly handed the reins of his vast fortune, making her the wealthiest woman in England, with the exception of Queen Victoria herself. Yet, despite her riches, Angela was not one to sit idle in her gilded castle. From a young age, she harbored a deep sense of compassion and a burning desire to make a difference. She began her philanthropic journey by investing in East London's housing and social infrastructure, a stark contrast to the extravagant spending of her contemporaries. But Angela's story is just beginning. Hold on, because this heiress is about to break some major societal norms. Angela didn't just sit on her wealth, she had a mission to improve lives, and she started right at home in East London. Angela Burdett-Coutts was not your typical heiress. Instead of indulging in the luxuries of her time, she rolled up her sleeves and got to work. Her mission? To better the lives of those around her. And her first stop was East London, a place that, at the time, was in dire need of help. In East London, Angela saw people struggling for basic necessities. She saw overcrowded slums, children deprived of education, and a society desperately in need of a helping hand. So she decided to act. Using her considerable fortune, she funded housing developments, providing homes for those who had none. But she didn't stop there. She saw the need for social infrastructure, and she provided that too. She funded schools, hospitals, and other public services, transforming East London from a place of despair to a beacon of hope. But Angela's mission was not limited to bricks and mortar. She realized that for real change to occur, societal attitudes had to change. She co-founded organizations that are household names today: the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children, or NSPCC, and the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or RSPCA. These organizations were instrumental in changing society's attitudes towards children and animals, and they continue to do so today. Education was another cause close to Angela's heart. She understood that education was the key to breaking the cycle of poverty. So she supported the education of working-class children, providing them with opportunities they would otherwise never have had. She was just getting started. Angela's influence, it turned out, would reach far beyond London's borders. Angela's generosity knew no geographical boundaries. When Ireland was hit by the Great Potato Famine, guess who was among the first to provide aid? Angela Burdett-Coutts' philanthropy was not constrained by borders or oceans. Her heart reached out to those in need, no matter where they were. The mid-19th century was a time of great hardship for Ireland. The Great Potato Famine was not just a crisis of food, but a crisis of humanity. As the potato crop failed, people starved, and despair spread across the land. But amidst the gloom, there was a glimmer of hope, and that hope came in the form of Angela Burdett-Coutts. She didn't just send funds, she sent a message of solidarity and compassion. Angela understood that to heal a nation, you need more than just food. You need to restore hope and dignity. And so, she spearheaded initiatives to provide food, clothing, and employment opportunities to the Irish people, helping them regain their footing and rebuild their lives. But her philanthropic reach extended beyond the shores of Ireland. Angela's generosity flowed into various religious and charitable initiatives globally. She donated to churches, funded educational institutions, and supported medical research. She was not just a benefactor, but a beacon of hope for many. Her work transcended national, religious, and social boundaries, illuminating the darkest corners with her benevolence. Whether it was a hospital in need of funds, a school in search of support, or a community grappling with poverty, Angela was there. She didn't just donate money, she invested in humanity. She understood that every penny spent on education, healthcare, and social welfare was a seed sown for a better future. From London to Ireland and beyond, Angela left a mark wherever she went. But her work wasn't limited to humans alone. Angela's compassion wasn't just for her fellow humans. She had a soft spot for animals, and she used her wealth to champion their welfare. When we consider the life of Angela Burdett-Coutts, the term animal lover takes on a whole new dimension. This wasn't a woman who merely doted on pets. She took the welfare of all creatures, great and small, to heart. In the mid-19th century, the concept of animal rights was still a fledgling idea. cruelty towards animals was commonplace and largely overlooked by society. However, Angela was not one to stand idly by. She threw her considerable influence behind the cause, contributing significantly to the formation of the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, or the RSPCA as we know it today. But Angela's advocacy didn't stop at the establishment of organizations. She understood the importance of education in changing societal norms and attitudes. She championed initiatives that aimed to instill kindness towards animals and children, believing that compassion learned at a young age would echo through a lifetime. In Angela's world, animals were not just creatures to be pitied or protected. They were sentient beings deserving of respect and empathy. She funded facilities that provided care for animals, ensuring that they received the attention and treatment they needed. If you were a stray dog wandering the streets of East London in the 1800s, chances are you might have found yourself in one of the dog shelters funded by Angela. And if you were a horse, overworked and ill-treated, Angela's initiatives ensured that you received rest and care. Angela's advocacy for animals was a testament to her belief in the inherent value of all living beings. Her efforts were not just about preventing cruelty, but about promoting kindness, empathy, and respect for all life. Angela's legacy has multiple facets, each as impactful as the other. But how does one summarize such a life? How do you summarize a life spent in service, a fortune used for change, and a legacy that spans continents and centuries? The tale of Angela Burdett-Coutts is one of a woman who dared to defy the conventions of her time, leveraging her wealth to advocate for the less fortunate. Born into privilege, she could have easily led a life of leisure. Instead, she chose a path of compassion and philanthropy, pouring her resources into elevating those on society's fringes. Her legacy is seen in the brick and mortar of East London, in the housing developments and social infrastructure she funded. It's evident in the classrooms where working-class children received education, and in the hospitals she supported. But her legacy isn't just confined to the United Kingdom. It reaches as far as Ireland, where she offered aid during the Great Potato Famine, and even further to the global initiatives she championed. She co-founded organizations like the National Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Children and the Royal Society for the Prevention of Cruelty to Animals, setting a precedent for the importance of safeguarding the rights of children and animals alike. These institutions, still standing strong today, are a testament to her foresight and dedication. Angela Burdett-Coutts was more than just an heiress. She was a force of change, a beacon of hope, and a champion for those in need. Her influence continues to ripple through time, inspiring countless others to engage in acts of kindness and charity. The world is a better place because of her, and her spirit lives on in the countless lives she touched. So how do we summarize her life and achievements? Perhaps it is best encapsulated in the words of Charles Dickens, who once referred to her as the most bountiful soul in England. Angela Burdett-Coutts, the unconventional heiress, the compassionate philanthropist, and the global changemaker, made her mark in history, not with her wealth,